one stream. And if not, we're going to be right next to you.
Alright, let's get going. Just quiet down.
Okay.
Because when you move
Especially
it,
my advisory, I see you. Madam Bunting, I'm your principal. It is very good to see you this afternoon. Thank you for being here. Oh, I saw one. Thank you. I hope you're asking yourself a question right now. And they might go something like, hey, it's Spirit Week. Why are we on discriminatory language? It's always a cheap way to pander to the crowd, right? So we've had some exciting events and we're gearing up for Omni. There's a lot going on in this school that's exciting, that fits with Spirit Week and us dressing up and all those kinds of things. So again, I understand why on a Friday afternoon you're thinking, why are we here right now? Well, first of all, I want you to take a look around at how much red is in this crowd right now. And that red, I hope, represents your spirit for your school. Walk forward into some uncomfortable discussions as we as a community practice being uncomfortable together and being real together, so that that red that you see all around here represents something that we're really proud of. And to me, that is spirit, and that is hope. A group of us recently went to the Roland Foundation, a conference, and we were treated to a speech on the research of hope. And someone was talking about the difference between wishing and optimism, and then ultimately the difference between optimism and hope. And here's what this person said about hope. Hopeful people cannot just wish things into existence. Hope requires a person to take responsibility for their wants and desires and to take action in working towards them. Optimistic people see the glass as half full, but hopeful people ask how they can fill the glass. And that's what we're doing today. We are moving with intention towards goals and towards a community that we're proud of, that we feel part of, where every single person in this room is seen and respected and treated in the ways they should be treated. They've done a tremendous amount of work today. Thank you.
So before we begin, I want to read a statement. To those of you from historically marginalized races, ethnicities, genders, sexualities, abilities, religions, classes, languages, immigration statuses, and more, we recognize the additional stress that discussing identity, privilege, oppression, and injustice can place on individuals when it is so much a part of one's daily reality. Please take care of yourselves however you need to, and please reach out for support.
Okay, so touching on what Adam said, why are we here? Okay? We're here for a few reasons. The first being, some of you are aware that we've had quite a few instances of hateful language being used at school this year. In fact, we've had over 20 bullying, hazing, and harassment investigations already. And that's not a great feeling for our community. And if we all want to belong, we all know we can do better. And so we need to understand how that impacts all of us in this room. Because when people are subjected to hateful language or they don't feel safe in school, it can really make it hard to be a teenager. So it impacts us, and then we also need to know how to stand up and how we can make things better as a community. So what is hate speech? I asked my Black America class this question the other day, what is hate speech? And I got a lot of different answers. And so a good starting place is figuring out what is hate speech. So hate speech is generally agreed to mean abusive language, specifically attacking a person or persons because of their race, color, religion, ethnic group, ability status, gender, or sexual orientation. This can be in person or on social media, online, or symbols seen in school. I'm going to watch a short video about hate speech, which you all should understand because you've all seen it.
When I go online, I see hate speech everywhere.
Usually it's about race or religion.
And I've seen this all
When I go online, I see hate speech everywhere.
Usually it's about race or religion.
And I've seen this all on social media, Facebook, YouTube.
I've definitely seen hate speech.
Don't worry, we only practiced this 10 times and it worked every time.
Racist or sexist comment.
It's always going to be there.
I don't. You have to go very far to find
I
it.
don't have a need to go digging for it.
It's everywhere. I define hate speech as anything that's threatening or meant to hurt somebody else.
Anything you say or do that is like kind of like attacking any part of someone, whether it's like what they look like, their beliefs.
I'm not sure like the exact definition of hate speech.
Any way you use your words to oppress or harm somebody else, it doesn't necessarily have to be a derogatory term or a slur. It could just be words that we use in our everyday sentences.
The meaning of it has become really big, or at least really wide.
Someone is no longer just being offensive when what they're saying is marginalizing or hurting a whole community of people. For example, their religion, their race. If that's what you're going for, that's no longer just you being mean. That's hate speech. I have definitely encountered hate speech online. I found it a lot more on social media than I have in real life. I see it in maybe comments on YouTube videos or tweets on Twitter.
Twitter has a huge amount of hate speech. It's such an open platform for people to just type down what they think and send it off.
I definitely think YouTube is one of the places where you most see racist or like sexist comments.
I've noticed it mostly on social media platforms like Instagram and YouTube through jokes.
I tend to see it on memes or funny posts or meant to be funny posts.
And I think it's that those type of people that they'll say it over social media, but they won't say it in person because they're too afraid and they don't want to own up to having that kind of ideology.
I don't think it's a joke to me. If it's racist, then they post it to be racist because that's what they're thinking about.
Some close friends of mine from middle school actually created a private Instagram account and they used it to post racist, ableist, sexist, xenophobic pictures. Last year, someone created an extremely anti-Semitic Instagram account, and it was always so personal and so targeted. And I wish that I could say that was the last time that something like that had happened in our school, but it isn't. It made me kind of question my place and like where I belong in this school, because it's supposed to be our sanctuary space, and students within this very building, in the same classrooms as me, are posting photos that dehumanize me. It was hurtful. I think that people are posting hate speech online because, for the first part, it's easier for people to talk through a screen.
It's almost like a sheet in front of you, or you can cover your face, but sound still goes through. So people can say whatever they want, kind of get away with it.
I do think that xenophobia is one factor to why people use hate speech. Part of it is just to get a reaction, or part of it is just to get attention. The people who put these types of posts on media, they seem to be going through something themselves. It's maybe because of their past, or they've been hurt before and they want to hurt others to make them feel better about themselves.
I've never seen someone post hate speech being a friendly person who is just trying to say their opinion. I think the hate speech is like put out there just to target a certain group.
It's such a large platform that so many people can see that it's really easy to get your message across. And people are going to read it because it's on social media.
So when I see something on my timeline, I go out of my way to report it. I go out of my way to stop that. Because I know somebody else is going to take it the same way that I did.
How you feel like somebody's talking like some negative things about you? It hurts like your feelings.
Yeah, I feel a sort of social responsibility. We all should be lifting each other up rather than putting each other down.
When I see some people posting racist things online, I just don't do nothing about it because I feel like I ask myself, what can I do to stop this?
I can't really do anything about it, and I just have to ignore it.
It's really hurtful to the other person. I don't think they realize it. It really demoralizes them and lowers their self-esteem.
I would report hate speech when I see it.
When we see these posts on our timelines, or on our Instagrams and our feeds, Twitter, Snapchat, even group chats, we feel the need to speak out. And when we speak out, we give those people who hurt us that attention that they always crave.
I feel like if you don't have anything good to say, don't say it.
Everyone always argues with these people, and I do too. I think people are free to express what they have to say, but I don't think it should be at the cost of putting somebody else down.
Okay, so most of you know what hate speech is now. You've heard it in the school, you've seen it online. Here are just a few examples that we've already had in the building this year, right? We've had N-words, we've had swastikas, we've had racial stereotypes. We have stuff about special ed students that's completely inappropriate, including the R word. We have classist language, we have things that are homophobic. We have sexist language, and we have issues with people attacking someone about their religion or their ethnic wear. So this is a lot of what's happening. These are actual things we've seen so far this year. So the reason it matters is because 1.6 million students were subjected to hate speech due to their identity. And almost 6 million students in this country report hearing it in their hallways or seeing hate symbols in their schools. This causes a lot of impact on students: emotional turmoil, low self-esteem, loneliness, depression, not wanting to come to school, not wanting to do their schoolwork. Those of you that have been exposed to this language are more likely to deal with mental health issues and just in general not want to be here. It's really important at CBU that we want a community where we all feel like we belong, and we have to be able to show up to feel that belonging.
So, how do we move forward together? One tool to stop hate speech or slurs, do a one-on-one or a small group discussion to bring attention to the language they've been using and what harm they've caused. And you can also call someone out. Calling out is generally bringing public attention to an individual or group. Both of these tools basically interrupt, question, and then educate the speaker about the harmful effects of their speech. And we're going to be learning and practicing calling in and calling out. We'll get some sentence starters and other tools next week in advisory.
So part of the issue is, it doesn't matter what Megashri says, or I say, or Adam says, or all the teachers in this building say. If you all are not willing to join us and make things better, we can't move forward. And so some of your classmates are going to talk to you in a minute about how they are trying to move things forward here. And we call on all of you to be able to help us as a community grow.
I'm Alex Wempel. I'm a 10th grader here at. As a sister to a wonderful human with a physical disability, a daughter, an ally, and a friend to all, this was incredibly disappointing. It seems that this highly discriminatory word is used interchangeably with words like stupid and dumb. It's demeaning, it's offensive. Thank you.
This year and past years, instances of racial discrimination towards students of color has become a problem that everyone seems to ignore or get defensive about when called in or called out. In bringing attention to acts of racism, the goal is not to upset or offend, but to defend those whose voices aren't being heard. Getting offended when being called out for a racist act, and instead of acknowledging the wrong, is a big part of the problem. Your actions and words portray who you are and what you value. In recent years, we have felt like those who are using racial slurs and committing microaggressions are getting the benefit of the doubt, whereas those of us trying to defend ourselves and others are wrong. Yes, it might hurt to be called a racist, but it's even more painful to be racially targeted and not supported by your friends or teachers. We are tired of being second to those who haven't shown their true colors, and we are tired of half-hearted apologies. We are tired of always having to be the ones to support our BIPOC community. We are asking for your help in standing up in racially motivated acts and aggression in our community.
As many of you know, the field hockey team wrote a letter to the CBU community earlier this fall regarding incidents of hate speech. We will now read that letter to you all. Dear CBU community, we, the varsity field hockey team, are writing to you all on behalf of anybody and everybody whose identity has been discriminated against in any shape or form. We are a team of athletes who love to play the sport we play, but we are also a team of young women and activists who know that our place in this society is seen as less than that of our male counterparts.
This community loves to preach as slurs are thrown around like slang, etched into the walls of bathroom stalls and whispered among friends at sporting events, or just screamed loud and proud with no repercussions following. We as a team will not continue to let unnecessary hate seep through the cracks in our school. We cannot continue to let hurtful actions be praised or condoned. We must hold people accountable for their actions, and a lack of repercussions is an implicit acceptance of this behavior. We must promote growth rather than unconsciously breeding an environment that condones homophobia, sexism, racism, ableism, transphobia, and many other forms of hate.
We are tired of hearing that boys will be boys, and we are tired of being told that it was just a joke, and to relax. This is more than just a letter. It is tears streaming down our faces as we talk about our school as a team. It is anger rushing through our bones as we watch people who have intentionally hurt others dance through the halls, being adored by teachers and staff and fellow students. It is frustrating as we realize that this community has changed oh so little internally from the time our parents attended high school, and it is also empowering as we take a stand against it all.
We are many things: athletes, young women, daughters, students, allies, activists, privileged and unprivileged. Some of us are queer, have a difficult home lives, or struggle with mental health. It is all seen on our team. And it is time that it is seen in full with light and love in our community. We as a team want to be better humans and help others be better humans. It is time that you all ask yourselves this question: what do I want to be? Sincerely, the Varsity Field Hockey Team.
We wrote this letter because we wanted to take a stand as athletes that represent the school who felt that hate speech and discriminatory language were happening too much, especially in the halls of our school and on social media, where the use of discriminatory language in a casual setting has been normalized.
After rumors started spreading, and before we had even issued a statement, there was a lot of anger towards our team. It almost felt like resentment. However, following the statement, people began to understand the full story. From this experience, we learned that standing up for what we believe in is incredibly scary at first. And the pushback can be very, very real. However, it is important that we do not continue to let a culture of discrimination and oppression thrive within our community. So that is why we did it. We hope that this has made a difference in how our community combats issues of discrimination and oppression, and more specifically, we hope it has paved the way for students and faculty to use their voices and stand up for themselves and others. That is all we have to say today. Make sure you show up to our game at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Hello. Hi everyone. I'm Alex Provost. Great job. So a month or so ago, I was silly enough, stupid enough, grateful enough to have made a mistake with hate speech. I posted something, it offended the group that I didn't realize would offend, and I made a mistake. And had I not been called out for my mistake, I never would have known the impact that I had on those people. One of the biggest things I learned from that experience is that there's a difference between intent and impact. You can have completely good intentions, not trying to hurt someone, but the words that you say carry more weight than you know. The impact that you can have on people by a simple 3-second video goes way beyond that 3-second video. I am beyond grateful to be in a place where people are not scared to stick up for themselves and aren't afraid to tell me that I messed up. And it's not easy messing up. But how you respond to those mistakes and how you take the next step forward is how we're all going to grow and grow as a community and grow together. Thank you.
Thank you to all of our student speakers for the brave voices that came forward today. That is the conclusion of this assembly, and we will have opportunities to practice calling in and calling out next week during advisories. And I think it's time to go to 4th block. Thanks everyone for coming.
With this,